everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I have to invite everybody in. Why? Because this is the best tribe on these internet streets, the best community. I cannot say enough nice things about the people of this community. And if you want to be a part of it, you know what you need to do. You need to go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Tosses me up and drags me through the streets. I'm telling you. But I will survive. I'm just going to say that. Also, I just want to say a big thank you and a big shout out to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing such a great job. Yeah, y'all are. And I am just so thrilled and so happy and so appreciative that you take the time to do that. It means so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And let me tell you, I will be so happy, so thrilled, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, look in the other corner. That's our super thanks. And all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all. We do have some shout outs. We do. And let's get started. And we're going to start with Ella Gully. Ella is everything. Ella is always supporting, always coming through, always in the comments. How can you have a better person as a part of your community? I don't think you can. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Ella. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and being a part of this community. You just make it so much better. And next up is Lorna Williams. Lorna, I love Lorna. I do. Because Lorna knows so much more about those left behinds over there than I do. She knows so much more about the history of what has gone on with the Sussexes than I do. And I depend on Lorna to keep me straight. I do. It's her and a few other of y'all out there. Y'all absolutely know way more than I do. And I love that. And I love Lorna. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you. And Angela May. Angela May is another, ride or die. Angela is always coming through. Angela is always supporting. Angela is always in the comments. You could not ask for anyone better. I'm telling you, this community just blows me away. It is a community of Angelas. It is the very best. And I'm telling you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Angela. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here, being a part of this community. So lucky. And next up is Jane Press. Jane has been with me since the beginning. Jane has held me down since the beginning. She has always been down with the read. She's everything. She has a special place in my heart. I'm telling you, Jane is everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Jane. Thank you for being such a huge support. And thank you for being down with the read. I'm telling you, thank you for the super thanks, but mostly thank you for being here and being you. You're incredible. And Tiger Mommy is another one. I'm telling you, I am so lucky. I'm not gonna tell y'all the story about when I had one or two, when I had one or two subscribers and I was just looking for my tribe. And I'm gonna tell you, I always have to hold Byron down. Byron from Royal Sussex. Oh, I'm telling you, he is everything. He helped me to get started, and I love him so much. And now, look at all these wonderful people that are a part of my community, my tribe. He helped me to find my and I really, really appreciate that. And like I said, Tiger Mommy, she is everything. She is always supporting. She is always coming through. She is always holding me down. When I need a kind word, she is always there to give it. She is everything. She's everything. So thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of my tribe. It means everything. And next up is Kino Najori. Kino is Kino is so special and so smart and is always holding the read down. I'm telling you now, Kino was not here from the beginning, but boy, Kino has made her presence known. I kid you not. She is one of the readers who is always down with the read. I'm telling you, and I just am so thankful, so happy, so over the moon to have Kino as a part of this community. She's everything. So thank you, Kino. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, being so faithful, unwavering. Ah, and next is Patricia Smith, another ride or die. Another one that's always coming through. Another one that's always holding the read down. Always down for the read. Always in the comments. I mean, whew, am I lucky? I cannot. I mean, every time I just get overwhelmed because people like Patricia is just everything. And they are just so supportive. And oh, it just fills my heart up. So thank you, Patricia. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And last but not least, Annette Sweat. Annette has been with me since the beginning. Annette has always been down with the read. Annette is always coming through, always being supportive, always coming with a kind word. It's as if she knows when I need it. I'm telling you, if you see Annette in the comments, read her comment because she is just everything. So thank you, Annette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for always being down with the read. You have never wavered. You have been here since the beginning, and it means everything. All right, y'all, I'm going to play this, and then we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to Ella Gully, to Lorna Williams, to Angela May, to Jane Press, to Tiger Mommy, to Kino Najari, to Patricia Smith and Annette Sweat. Y'all are everything. Y'all are. And I know how lucky I am to have you as a part of my tribe. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I thank you for the super thanks. I really do. But the most important thing has always been your presence. It means more to me. I'm telling you, all of the members of this tribe, your presence is everything. And I appreciate it. I know you don't have to come and listen to a Southern Belle ramble on every day, but you do. And I really appreciate it. All right, y'all, let's get started. Y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets. And let me tell you, I have been all over, but mostly over to X, formerly known as Twitter. Why? Because anytime a mess kick up, I know where to go to get the good goods. Yes, X, formerly known as Twitter, the squatties over there, they have no shame. They don't care. And I love it because they say, if you're going to fight me with no gloves, I'm going to fight you bare knuckle as well. And I'm telling you, the squatties over there, they bare knuckle it. And I love it. I went over to Instagram. I checked on the squatties over there. I absolutely, peeked in on Megan. I did, but I mostly spent my time over on X for Twitter. Y'all know I'm messy. And y'all know I am petty. And the way they are dragging people over there on X, formerly known as Twitter, they are petty, they are messy, they are shady. And I'm telling you, they are absolutely dragging Willie and Kitty, and they have no shame about it whatsoever. That is the reason why I love X, formerly known as Twitter. Y'all know some of the derangers, some of the ugly old hags, the toadies, the trolls have tried to come in on squatties' posts and try to shame them. Try to absolutely say that you have no empathy, you have no compassion, and let me tell you, they got drugged too. Because the squatties are not playing with them. They are not. You will not shame us. You will not shame us. Because as we look back on how you have treated Harry and Meghan, you showed no mercy and you showed no shame. You continue to show no mercy and you continue to show no shame. Why is it that we're expected to be on the high road while you travel the low road every day? Why? Why don't you come to the high road and we'll be happy to stay on the high road? Because that's actually who we are by nature. We don't like to get down on the low road and wrestle with the pigs. We don't. We prefer to be on the high road. But we just meet y'all where y'all at. And it is absolutely like they are just discombobulated that the squatties are behaving in the manner on which they are behaving. And I must say, it is not all squatties. It is not. It is people who are non-squatties who are participating in the dragging. But I just find that hilarious that they somehow have the audacity to try to appeal to us in a way saying you have no shame, you have no compassion. And these are the same people who talked about Meghan having a moon bump and someone should, and prove that she doesn't have one. Y'all remember that, but yet and still, somehow we're supposed to have compassion. Get out of here. But I digress, y'all. Yes, that's what's still going on. The dragon is still going on, but we're going to talk about other things as well. we're going to talk about one member of the royal family has passed away. Yes, we're going to talk about that. And the predictable, because of that, the predictable has happened. So, like I said, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a curious article that Richard Maureen Eden wrote. And I'm telling you, it has some squatties with their jaws really tight because we have not recovered from the Cinnabale hijack, the hostile takeover of Harry's lifelong work. I'm telling you. And now he's writing about Invictus. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a few other things, but listen, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I know it's Friday night. I know it probably was a long week, so that's why I'm not going to keep you long. It may get a little bumpy, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. So strap in and let's get started. I'm going to put this up first. And like I was telling y'all earlier, they're still dragging Peggy and Kitty. They are. And this is a repost, and the original post said, "Words fail me." I'm telling you, people are literally shocked at their appearance. Some people say they even look hungover. To me, they just look old and worn out. They don't look like people who have been on vacation and vacation as much as they do. They're always on vacation. I think they've had 5 or 6, maybe possibly 7 vacations this year. And we're just in September. And they look like this. They come back looking like this. William looks like Father Time. And Kitty has so much hair piled on her head. I said this in my last podcast. This is all her insecurities showing. She is so insecure when it comes to Megan. And she just piles all this hair on her head. I'm telling you, and people are riding them like they were a pony and the ride costs 50 cents. They are on them, let me tell you. And this particular squatty that reposted this said, whatever is going on with these two, they deserve it. And all I can say is, where is the lie? Where is it? Because you can look at the two couples. Now, it's one couple that's thriving and one couple who is barely surviving. And they're supposed to be the ones who gets everything. They get the crown, but yet and still, look at them. And I'll tell you what, Kitty is really getting drugged for having those kids out in that rain, not ushering them into, the building, having them to stand out there so she can get the money shot. I'm telling you, they are absolutely being merciless when it comes to her behavior. And listen, you can say whatever you want to, but that particular critique of her behavior is not unfair. Not at all. How in the world would you allow kids to continue to stay out in a downpour and not have enough compassion to say, let's all go inside, let's all go inside? But we all know that it's always has been and will always be about the money shot. Nobody else matters. Their kids doesn't matter. Let's not forget what happened during Trooping the Color. Louis and George almost looked like they were about to pass out in those full-on suits, riding around in those open carriages and the sun just beating down on them. But yet and still, no, they don't care. And have they ever cared about children? I don't think so. Let's not also forget that William and Harry had to walk behind their dead mother's casket. So when they don't care about their own children, the children within that family, that institution, they definitely do not care about the subjects' children, the peasants' children. I'm telling you, so no surprise, no surprise, but it's such a bad look. It really is. Especially the way she was grinning like a hyena. I'm telling you, she had this really, really weird grin on her face. I'm going to put this up. This squatty said, but this is next level weird. It really is. Look at that dumb smile. I mean, it is as if she is totally and completely disconnected with reality. It's nothing behind the eyes, and I don't think it's nothing in the head as well. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty is talking about what's going on over to TikTok. Now, we all know what's going on over, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Instagram. Yeah, Peggy and Kitty, they are absolutely getting skull drug. They are. They're getting drugged up and down the internet streets. They are. But it is child's play. It is like chutes and ladders and hungry hippos compared to what's going on over to TikTok. Now, they told us squatties who are over on X, formerly known as Twitter, to sit down, have a seat, and let them show us exactly how dragging is supposed to go, how it is done. And I'm telling you, it is so much fun. And this particular squatty is talking about that and says this: Lord, K and Wank is getting cooked on TikTok. Check out Dominique Morgan's video, and there's the link to this particular video. And I'm not gonna put it up because it is brutal. It is brutal. And she is talking about how Kitty needs to hire someone who knows how to lay a wig properly. Because somebody is got her effed up. And I'm telling you, it is so funny. It's so funny. I did not do the soundbite on it because, like I say, it's pretty brutal. But I'm telling you, it is funny. It really is. Over to TikTok, cook. They are letting them cook. I kid you not. I'm telling you, I don't think they expected what they got when they started to attack Megan. I don't think that they really anticipated the blowback that was going to happen. I said this in my last podcast. They opened that Pandora's box and did not know what was in it. All they wanted to do was to hurt Harry and Meghan, and they ended up hurting themselves. Because when they declared open season on a royal couple, little did they know they were declaring open season on themselves as well. I mean, it is at the point of no return now. Now you think just because you have a certain position that people are not going to drag you. You get to drag other people. You get to smear them. You get to tear them down and absolutely lie on them and plant stories. But you're going to live happily ever after in your little world. Well, it don't work out that way. It don't. And your media can't control that anymore because social media has taken the reins. And I'm telling you, they are brutal. And I'm going to put this one up, and this is going to be my last one, but I had to add it because it's from Tom Thumbhead Sykes. Yes, he even wrote about the wig. He did. And this particular squatty posted what he said. And basically what he's saying is, it is all Natasha Archer's fault. Yes, you know, the one that was stalking Megan, the one that was following Megan on Instagram, following all of Megan's friends on Instagram, her stylist. I mean, I think she was even following her hair colorist. She was following everybody, including the account on X called What Megan Wore. Y'all remember that? And so he's saying when that situation came to a head and she departed, it left Kitty hanging. And that is the reason why Kitty showed up with all that piles and piles and piles of hair. They will make an excuse, won't they? I'm telling you, they will come up with something when it comes to protecting those left behinds over there. But this particular squatty posted what he said about Kate's hair. The title of this little article he wrote was called My Hot Take on Kate's Hair. Now you know the dragging is epic when you start getting articles from royalists. Well, this particular squatty reposted his article and said this: laugh out loud. Tom Sykes tracked down experts in wigs and extensions, and they confirmed Kate's hair is fake. He didn't have to do all that. All he had to do was use his common sense, but we all know if you're a royalist, you have no common sense. But it goes on to say, he concluded that the reason Kate is looking a mess is because Natasha Archer is no longer around. Remember, Natasha's job was to stalk Megan and copy her wardrobe. Yes, but like I said, we all know that they don't need Natasha to do that. They have burner accounts over there at Kensington Palace and they stalk everything that Megan does. And I'm going to put this up. This right here is what has them shooketh. This is why Kate is walking around looking like she is. Because she's a copycat. And Megan has this full, beautiful, luscious mane of hair. And Kate does not. Go back and look at Kate back when she was, younger. Now, Kate has beautiful hair. Now, don't get me wrong, but it's not Megan's. Not Megan's. And boy, her insecurities are showing, aren't they? I said that earlier. And one squatty just gave her a little insight on how to go blonde and how to lay your wig. This particular squatty said, now this is how you go blonde. Now tell me this wig is not laid. This is the way that Kate's wig should look. I'm telling you, she needs some help. And of course, they continue to drag Willie as well. And when I saw this, I had to include it because look at this. He looks as old as Edward. He really, really does. He looks like Edward's brother. He does. He doesn't look like his nephew. Edward was a grown man when William was born. And look at them now. I'm telling you, this squatty said, wow, William actually looks older than Edward. And all I can say is, where is the lie? Where is it? All right, y'all, I'm going to take a break from dragging Peggy and Kitty, and I want to talk about this. I just found this very interesting, and I'm telling you, it's some squatties that are really going in because we all know what's afoot here. And it is something that we have always feared and suspected. And I'm going to put this up. Kaiser wrote about it. And it's something that Richard Maureen Eden wrote about Invictus. And it says, Eden, Prince Harry should resign from Invictus so it can have another royal patron. And y'all know who he's talking about. He's talking about WikiLeaks. And we all have had some feelings about what has been going on. We as squatties have been seeing what has been going on when it comes to Harry's projects, Harry's charities that he has created from whole cloth. First, it was African Parks. Now, he didn't create that one from whole cloth, but he had been working with them forever, and they attacked it. Then they turn around and attack Cinnabale. Still, we're having issues about what's going to happen there. And now here they are starting to talk about Invictus. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. How you can have such a level of evilness that is coming from an individual that you share DNA with. Harry shares DNA with William. And this is his attack on everything that is Harry. He don't want Harry to have anything. They don't want Harry to have anything because Harry has defied them. He has been able to walk the tightrope away from them. He has managed to survive and thrive away from them. And they will not stop until they destroy him. That's why I said a long time ago that I did not want Invictus to be in the United Kingdom. Now, I know the veterans of the United Kingdom deserve to have Invictus in their home country, but it is a lot of danger for Prince Harry. They are trying to systematically destroy everything that he has built because of his brother who has built nothing and is jealous of all the things that he has built. I'm telling you, I cannot. And as you can see, some squatties came up under this post. One of them was Megan, the Duchess of Advocacy, and they said this is why it's a horrible idea to have Invictus 27 in the UK. I'm glad Invictus responded. Invictus did respond to the nonsense, and I'm going to read that later on. But then another squatter came in and said, I agree. Cinnabale was just a test run to see if they could get away with a hostile takeover of Invictus. I'm telling you, I will not breathe a sigh of relief until Invictus 27 is wrapped and in the history books. It is going to be so perilous for Harry. Invictus 27 in Birmingham is going to be perilous. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put the article up, and it's written by Kaiser. And she is writing an article about the article that Richard Maureen Eden wrote in the Daily Fail. And like I said, the title of Kaiser's article is Eden, Prince Harry should resign from Invictus so it can have another royal patron. And it says, last year, this is Kaiser talking. You know, she does like a little scenario, then she posts a segment from the article, and then she ends up summarizing it up at the end. So let's get into it. It says, last year, there was a high-profile campaign to somehow force or convince Prince Harry to resign from his board position on African Parks. a well-funded NGO working to conserve the African ecosystem and protect African animal population. As I said at the time, the campaign was very clearly coming from Prince William. And I also said that William's ultimate goal is to somehow F with all Harry's major patronages. Where is the lie? Where is it? We have been saying it so long because it's been there for everyone to see. He wants to take them all from him. He is jealous of everything. And I hope Harry knows this. I hope he has figured it out. He is a very smart man. That's why he needs to insulate himself and be very careful who he brings in his charities. I'm just saying. Then it goes on. Then this year, the Cinnabale catastrophe happened. Once again, William, Peggy fingerprints were all over that fiasco. Everyone once again pointed out that William only gives a shit about taking things away from Harry and harming Harry's philanthropic legacy. Well, it looks like William is making some moves on Invictus Games. The Daily Fail's Richard Eden wrote this curating column. And this is what he said. The Duke of Sussex said his decision to resign earlier this year as patron of Cinnabale, the charity he co-founded to help aid orphans in South Africa, was devastating. Now, however, he may come under pressure to quit as patron of the other cause closest to his heart. I hear increasing rumblings of discontent about Prince Harry's role as patron of the Invictus Games, the international sports event he founded with, listen to this lie, and you cannot tell me this is not coming from Willie. Listen, he said, I hear increasing rumblings of discontent about Prince Harry's role as patron of the Invictus Games, the international sports event he founded with his brother and sister-in-law, the Prince and Princess of Wales, to help wounded, injured, and sick military service personnel. That right there is Willie trying to open the door, telling this lie that him and Kitty had something to do with the founding of Invictus Games. They're putting it out. They are laying the groundwork. I cannot. And it says a source close to Invictus Game Foundation tells me that there is concern that Harry is no longer the help to the charity that he once was. Lies. And it says the Duke has become an increasingly divisive figure, particularly in the armed forces, the source said, and that it's not good for Invictus. You see what is going on here? Making up these lies, trying to set the groundwork, trying to put the chess pieces right on the board in the exact position in order to try to take Invictus away from Harry. That's William. That's Willie. That is the reason why we are on these internet streets and drag them and feel no shame. We feel no empathy because at the end of the day, they're doing shit like this. This right here is the reason why we don't have a problem dragging them by their wiglet and those few strands of hair on the top of Willie's head. Because of shit like this. Excuse my French, but this makes me mad. This right here makes me madder than anything. Talking about Harry is a divisive figure. Talking about particularly in the armed forces. The armed forces loves Harry. Harry built this out of whole cloth and he has the nerve to associate Willie and Kitty with the Invictus Games? I cannot, y'all. I cannot. And it says now Invictus is firmly established. It might be better if the Duke took a step back. Y'all, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Whew, I can't. And it says the issue is particularly sensitive because the next Invictus Games is due to be held in this country, in Birmingham, in 2027. This is the reason why I was not enthusiastic about it being held in Birmingham in the UK. Now, I was not overly enthusiastic about it being held in Washington, D.C. because of the climate that which we are living in over here in America. I was hoping for a place somewhere else, like South Korea or somewhere like that. But boy, I'm telling you, I will be so glad when these Invictus Games are over in 2027. I cannot, y'all. I cannot. It says, given Harry's estrangement from the royal family, which he has attacked publicly on a number of occasions, including his memoir, Spare, and the interview with Oprah Winfrey. I mean, these people never let it go. It is doubtful that any member would want to be seen alongside him in Birmingham. And we say, yes, that's the way we like it. Okay? We don't want them beside Harry in Birmingham. We just want you to leave Harry alone. Because I tell you what, if you think the dragging that has been going on these past 2 days is really, really bad, try to take Invictus from Harry. We will drag the dog out of you. We will. And we will never, ever, ever stop. Ever stop. So you can do this if you think you are big enough to do it. But I promise you, all hellfire will be rained down. The internet will absolutely be in meltdown mode when we hit these internet streets. I promise you. I hope you have some kind of understanding of what will rain down on you if you try to take Invictus from Harry. I'm just saying. I am just saying. And who in the world cares about the royal family showing up to Invictus? They never showed up to Invictus. When have they showed? They showed up the first year. That's it. Ain't nobody missed them. And Harry has worked his heart out. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Woo, and it says, it is sorry that such a worthy event seems to be used as a PR or public relations purposes, says the source. Normally, senior members of the royal family would want to attend. It goes without saying that they support the forces to the hilt, so it would be unfortunate if they felt unable to because of Harry's presence. Can you believe this? I'm gonna start cussing on these internet streets if these people try to be messing with Harry and Invictus. I'm telling you. Woo! And it says, a royal source tells me if Harry was to resign as patron of Invictus, I am sure they would have no trouble finding a new royal patron. We all know who they have in mind. Woo! As my grandmother used to say, woo, child. Woo! I hope they are ready. I hope they are ready. If they feel that they can take Invictus away from Harry and it's going to be smooth sailing. Oh, baby, it will never be smooth sailing. It will never be smooth sailing. I cannot. But listen to this. He had to put this in there because he spoke to Rob Owen, the chief executive of Invictus Games Foundation, and he said this: "We are proud to have the Duke of Sussex as the patron and founder." Patron and founder. The Invictus movement stems from his ideas and his passion for the international community of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, born out of his military service experience and his understanding of the power of sport to change lives and save lives. The spotlight he brings to the community and to our work has changed the perception of mental health, of military personnel, and of disability worldwide. You know what? I think Rob Owens said everything that needed to be said to Richard Maureen Eden. He said, I don't care what you say. We good. We are happy with Harry. And what you are saying is nonsense. This man had the audacity to go to Invictus, and Invictus let them know that Harry not only is the patron, he is also the founder. And Richard Eden just absolutely lying, saying that Willie and Kitty had something to do with it. I cannot, but I love this statement from Invictus. Clear it up. I can't with this. I can't. And Kaiser said in her summary, she said this: if Harry were to resign as patron of Invictus, I'm sure they would have no trouble finding a new royal patron. It makes me feel sick to my stomach, actually. The fact that William is waging his public campaign to do what? A hostile takeover of Harry's signature achievement, his brainchild, the event he painstakingly put together and nurtured for more than a decade. Also, his ugly brother can claim it as his own royal patronage. And that's another thing. For argument's sake, let's say this happens the way William wants, and Invictus Games is like, well, SHIT. Let's ask William to be our royal patron. Is that not an enormous embarrassment for Invictus and William, or is he too stupid and childless to understand that? What also is funny is that William refused to do anything with his existing patronages, never mind taking on a new one, and yet he's an eager beagle whenever it comes to anything Harry founded. Where is the lie? I've been waiting for them to say he's going to take over Cinnabale. If he could get away with that without the scrutiny of everyone coming down on him, and let me tell you, it would come down on him like a ton of bricks. He would right now be on the board, the head, the patron of Cinnabale. I cannot. And you know what else I was thinking? You know that Cinnabale was supposed to come out with its financial report. What happened to that? I hadn't heard a peep out of it. It was supposed to come out the last of last month, but we hadn't heard anything from Chanduka. Nothing. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on that one. I hadn't forgot about it. But yes, I agree with everything that Kaiser has said. You know what? Kaiser has been hitting it out of the park here lately. She has. She has absolutely been coming through. And I believe it is a very low key. They working under the radar, trying to wrestle Invictus from Harry. I believe that with everything in me. That is the reason why I feel so ill at ease about Birmingham 2027. I'll be so happy when that's over and Harry has flown back out of the country. I cannot. I can't. I mean, how can you be so evil? How? How can you be so evil? How can you be so evil? I just have to keep using that word against your brother. That is the reason why I feel nothing when I'm dragging him and Kitty. I absolutely do not. I feel nothing except joy. That is the reason why I did the podcast that I did yesterday. These people are horrible people. Don't ever get it twisted. They have no compassion for anybody except themselves. And that is the reason I have none for them. Harry just needs to watch his back. He really does. Because he has someone who's trying to knife him or shank him at every turn. He needs to really, really watch his back. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, we're going to switch gears a little bit and I'm going to post this. And this was posted by Sky News and they're talking about the Duchess of Kent. She was a working royal. She was a senior royal and she has passed away. And this is what Sky News said. The Duchess of Kent has died at the age of 92, Buckingham Palace has said. The Union Jack at Buckingham Palace was lowered to half mast as a mark of respect shortly after the Duchess's death was announced. A formal framed announcement is displayed on the palace rails. Yeah, they said she was a nice lady. I didn't know much about the Duchess of Kent, but they say, well, we know the Duke of Kent. He's still a working royal. He is, and I think he is almost 90 himself. I think he's 89, I think I read. And he's the grandson of George V. And so she married into this family and became the Duchess of Kent. Yes, and like I said, from what I read and I gather, she was a very, very nice woman. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted Buckingham Palace announcement of the death of the Duchess of Kent and said this. Buckingham Palace announced the death of the Duchess of Kent, the wife of 89-year-old Duke of Kent. The Duke of Kent has done a lot of royal engagements lately, as William and Kate Middleton took 6 vacations so far this year. He should have been allowed to be with his wife. Now, my thoughts on that is I'm sure he could have been with her, and I'm sure he was with her. I don't think Charles is that big of a monster, but it is really sad that they are well into their age of 89 and 92, and they were still working. They were still working roles, and they did more engagements than Peggy and Kitty. That is scandalous. It really, really is. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this one up, and this particular squatty reposted the announcement from the royal family website, what they had posted. And they said this: one of the 3 royals I have time for. Nice woman by all accounts. Far too nice for that bunch. So she got out. That just leaves Harry and Meghan, and they got out too. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know anything about the Duchess of Kent, so I can't make a comment about it. But like I said, it seems to be that people liked her. And she also was kind of a rebel. She converted to Catholicism when all of the other royals are member of the Church of England. Yes. So she bucked the system and became a Catholic, the only one. So all I can say is good for her, because we all know who the head of the Church of England is today. Two adulterers. I'm just saying. And People magazine posted this and said Prince Harry privately sent condolences after royal family member's death ahead of UK visit. Yes, Harry sent his condolences. I believe that one. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I believe Harry probably did exactly that, because I'm sure he had some warm feelings for her. She seemed like a nice lady. And here we go. What do you think the flying monkeys first thought when they found out that the Duchess of Kent had passed away? Well, look at this. The Daily Fail. Will Prince Harry be at the Duchess of Kent's funeral? US-based royal to be in the UK for charity award, and Andrew could attend too. These people. And this squatty that posted it said this: I wondered how long it would take them. Not very long. A woman dies, and the first thought is that they can write endless stories about whether Harry will go to the funeral. Truly sick people. Exactly. Exactly. They could not wait until, a whole day without coming up with the nonsense, being on the BS. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatter reposted that article and said, I'm surprised they haven't added Prince Harry's name to the UK's national anthem yet, because they are just that obsessed. It is ridiculous. This woman has died, and they're talking about and thinking about if Harry's going to be at the funeral so they can have something to talk about, something to create a circus around, like they did at the Queen's funeral. That was such a disgrace and so disrespectful to a woman who sat on the throne for 70 years. These people created a circus around her funeral because of their obsession with Harry and Meghan. It was ridiculous and shameful. And I'm going to put this one up, and this squatter just simply reposted that same post and said, it is a mental illness. And all I can say to that is, where is the lie? These people are sick and obsessed with Harry and Meghan. I have never saw anything like it before in my life. We are 6 years in, and they're still on the bull crap. I can't. I can't with these people. And I'm going to put this up. This particular squatty warns us to remember that the British media does nothing but lie. And that is what gives me solace when I think about that article from Kaiser, because a lot of it be BS. So this particular squatty said this: the British media said Harry would return to the UK right after COVID. He and Meghan would quietly divorce. Meghan would launch a Kardashian-style reality show and run for Senate. They also said that Netflix would drop them and As Ever would flop. The British media are embarrassing. And that right there gives me solace to know that a lot of this is just made up nonsense. But I do believe it is a plot afoot to try to separate Harry from Invictus. Now, I believe that. Now, y'all tell me what y'all believe, but I really believe that. And I'm going to put this up, and just remember, All that hair piled up on Kitty's head is all because of this. Megan's luscious, luscious hair. This particular squatty that posted said, fabulous as usual. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.